Bev Mundel-Atherstone, and my first poem this evening is In the Daily News. Consumed by self-important first world lives, we missed it when the Earth's heat passed 1.5 degrees Celsius. Quiet as a breath, it floated on by, but Mother Earth knew its significance. Bleaching coral reefs blanched and then expired. Glaciers continued their death march to the seas. PCBs left orca pods infertile. Without babies, they're doomed to be extinct. 300,000 overheated bats, our prime mosquito eaters, dead in Australia. Their infants, clinging to their mothers' carcasses, cry. They're rescued by caring biologists. Rainforests, stripped for palm oil production or cattle farming, are left mauled and dying. Drugged orangutans drop from vanished canopies. Their home, our planet's lungs, annihilated. Okay. Please pass me my palm oil dredged Oreos, my big burger and mangoes firm and ripe, fresh from planes, ships, and trucks fueled by big oil. My appetite, much larger than our world's tiny plight. Thank you. Okay, the next one is a rhyming poem. It's called Unity, and it is a pantoum. And a pantoum is a very formal form verse in which there are 4 stanzas, and the second and fourth line of each stanza becomes the first and third of the next. And it ends where it begins. Unity. Where are the dissenting voices so wise as truth groans, eviscerated by liars? As honest discourse chokes on grief and cries, democracy decapitated expires. Truth groans, eviscerated by liars. With black portrayed as white, our hopes capsize as democracy decapitated expires. Raw wounds of ever-present doom arise. With black portrayed as white, our hopes capsize to retrieve kidnapped truth, a chaotic quest. As raw wounds of ever-present doom arise from sullied clutches, we dare fair truth to rest. Retrieving kidnapped truth, a chaotic quest. To unveil from lies their deceptive disguise, from their sullied clutches, fair truth to rest. We are the dissenting voices so wise. Thank you.
Those who have come here regularly know that I'm not usually up here. I'm not a poet. I'm not an aspiring poet. I don't write poetry. I was here once. I recited a poem, a 1-verse poem, which I wrote 72 years ago. But now, because our world is moving forward, I thought I'd give you a taste of what AI does with poetry. And so last 2 weeks ago at Southern Alberta Council on Public Affairs, we had a presenter talk about AI, and that inspired me to download the ChatGPT app, Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and I gave AI the request to generate poems in a particular format. So 3 poetic forms, and the topic is truth. Like Bev had truth in her pantoon, and so first I requested a pantoon poem on truth, then a sonnet on truth, and then a limerick on truth. Here's the pantoon, which Bev explained to you what it is. In the whispers of the night, truth unfolds, a beacon guiding through the darkest hour, in shadows cast by stories yet untold. It echoes in the heart with timeless power. A beacon guiding through the darkest hour, amidst the maze where falsehoods intertwine. It echoes in the heart with timeless power, revealing paths where honesty's divine. Amidst the maze where falsehoods intertwined, the truth stands firm, a steadfast guiding light, revealing paths where honesty's divine in every word, in every hidden sight. The truth stands firm, a steadfast guiding light in shadows cast by stories yet untold, in every word, in every hidden sight, in the whispers of the night, truth unfolds. Not me, ChatGPT. Now a sonnet. In shadows deep where falsehoods often creep, there lies a gem that glimmers with pure light. A beacon true through darkest night it seeps. To guide the lost through chaos, truth takes flight. With steadfast gaze it pierces through the veil, unveiling secrets hidden in disguise. Though falsehoods weave a tangled, twisted trail, the truth prevails, unyielding to the lies. Its essence pure, it resonates within, a sacred bond that binds the soul to right. In every heart where honesty has been, the truth ignites a flame that burns so bright. So let us seek the truth with open eyes, and let its wisdom be our sweetest prize. And then concluding with a limerick on truth. There once was a concept called truth in every age, from youngling to youth. It shines like a star through lies near and far, a beacon of honesty forsooth.
I have a lost sailor, a love who's lost at sea. His ship was swallowed by storms. He'll never come home to me. I stand and watch for him, my post upon the shore. The wounded scars on my heart I question forevermore. Does he live? Does he pine? Does he ever think of me? Am I strong enough to will him home from his journey on the sea? Can love conquer death, or will I forget the promises we gave? Does my mind's eye still see his face beyond the grave? I'm sorry, my love, but if you wanted me, you should have stayed. You died the minute you left. That's the choice you made. I have a lost sailor who lives within my thoughts. He left me to sail the sea, regardless of the cost. So to all the fair maidens with abandoned hearts, still waiting on the beach, forget the lost sailor and marry a farmer who keeps you within his easy reach. Forget the lost sailor who's too hard to remember by placing himself out of reach. This is one of my published ones, yay. This is a book called We Shall Be Monsters, and it's all based on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So my poem is called Monster. I need your eyes. Scoop them out for me. So bright and alive, they will show me much more than before. I need your legs. Just chop them off. So strong and steady, they will take me much farther than before. Give me your voice. I wrecked mine when I stopped caring. So I will rewind time and breathe deep again. Your brain. I need your brain next to fill in the holes and the shadows, carved out by abuse and ignorance. You should have heard the things I was told, the racist, sexist, ableist, common norms that stained me. I gotta switch up that rubbish with hipster tolerance and representation. While you're at it, give me your liver, your heart, your age, your diet, your height, your depth. The depth you stabbed me with when you tried to kill me. Tried to rid society of old monsters like me and my entitlement, my fake news and fake tan, but I can't die. I can't even get sick. Drown me, crush me, incinerate me. My broken bones will snap back in place, and I will reach out, and I will steal your parts and piece myself back together. You never wanted the responsibility or ownership or accountability. I'll leave what's left of you propped up in a chair, hooked up to machines, with the occasional lightning bolt to zap life into you. Your eye sockets can stare out, the passive listener like you always wanted. 'Cause man, if you had legs, you might have to use them. If you still had a voice, you might have to speak out. Thank you.
My star showed up today. It came with not a thing to say, just a simple act to warm me. It warmed my hands, it warmed my face, it warmed my heart. Amazing grace in my humble place, just for me. My star showed up again today. No warmth came, it just brought light. A blazing face to clear away the darkness. It cared not what is wrong or right. It just came to disperse the night. A wake-up call just for me. Just for me, just for me. For all to see, but it was just for me. My star showed up again today. Cold and wonder it did display, with biting wind that sings a bitter song, a wind to take a piece of me, while showing this land of beauty again, only for me. My star rose up again today. It did not burst or fade away. It truly is an amazing thing of wonder. I know not when it will not show, or how long this face will glow, but today it's just for me. Just for me, just for me, for all to see, but it's just for me. My star showed up again today. It must be God. Amazing sway for all that walk this earth to believe in. It brings with light, joy, and hope a precious lifeline of golden rope. Another day just for me. Just for me, just for me. For all to see, but it was just for me. I wrote this song this morning, actually. Or not this song, I wrote this poem this morning. After our winds we've had lately, I thought I better treat the wind the way I like it. So here it is. It's called The Wind. Nothing moves my senses more than wind that meets me at my door. A gentle caressing of my face, or howling at a blistering pace. I love the wind, soft or brisk. I cherish the feel, I know the risk. A force that took man from sea to sea, a cooling touch on beast or bee. A force that can be death and dread, a force that can mean peace and bread, fluttering leaves for all to see, or bending low a mighty tree. A God, perhaps. It's come to be, to touch my face, yet not to see, but talk to me it does with ease, whether gale or gentle breeze. Thank you.
Buonasera. This poem is from my recent travels overseas. Amalfi, lemon groves, clear sea water, lasagna and wine, laughing with tears, chocolate gelato, charcoal-colored sand, Roma, Sistine Chapel, nuns, holy water, cherubs, tears of gratitude, tapestry, the muse of tragedy, Cleopatra, bronzed cats from Egypt, Michelangelo's creation of Adam, tourists, Minos, judge of the underworld, pizza, more wine, Salerno, cappuccinos, pineapple diced into the shape of a swan, flags, green, white, and red, motorbikes and slender cobblestone streets, cheesecake, confession booths, cured meats, Positano, fresh tomato and basil, fresh mozzarella. Soccer players and Catholics are made here. Red and orange flowers, basilicas, more wine, handmade paper. This place wants me to write. Thank you.
Okay, so the poem I'm going to read is, where is it? It's a 5-part prairie epic poem. I'm going to read half of it tonight and then half of it next month. But it's in CV2 if you want to check it out in the meantime. So I'll just read the first part now. It's called Winter Counting, an honor song for prairie allies. And it's dedicated to the Dumas family up north, and then also just to Edmonton Police Service, get bent. 1, rivers. Do Indians believe in karma? I didn't go to my cousin's wake yesterday. I had gone to one a couple of weeks before. How many funerals are too many? We begin alone in the mountains, cold and solitary, season after season. Winter storms feed our ancestors, their children's children. Icebergs landlocked, valleys full. Her choicest cuts, butchered thin and seasoned and darkened over fire. Smoke and the sun. You bleed into the world. You feed headwaters. A banquet of liquid crystal. A homecoming, a homegoing. Then a gathering, a confluence. Lances crossed. Every good story has a river. We cannot write about another's traumas, but we can write about our woven tributaries, the place where your grandmother's waters meet my grandmother's. These are not borders. These are bodies connected. On the day I read a story about your civil case against YEG RCMP, I thought, I ought to compose a poem. But instead, I took out my phone and wrote Yelp reviews against settler colonialism. Spent 30+ winters waiting around for a regime change. Worst service ever. Only time we were recognized was by Tim Hortons staff and the cops The former posted a memo in the lobby declaring, "No drunk Indians." And the latter, its gaudy black boot of state-sanctioned violence, is wielded by an entire union of men and women who share a single, scratched, pawn shop copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, where their brains should be. They believe they can scare us, but not even we could scare ourselves. 2 out of 5 stars. With pepper spray and a soldering iron, they hoped to rewire our brains into perpetual mourning machines. Joke's on them. I am not broken. I am just shameless. Part 2, treaties. A common birth, the land, a common future, rivers flowing in perpetuity, a common enemy, the knives who stole our mothers and fathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers. And what else do we share? A, our family reunions are impromptu gatherings held in Walmart parking lots. B, our holy trinities are berry soup and fry bread and barbecued flank. C, the soul's longing for wide open places. D, land dispossession, forced but ultimately failed assimilation. E, the slap in the face that is $5 on Treaty Day, or waiting 8 years and spending the windfall of ammunition money on hoots. F, going to work on Indian time and believing in the reincarnation of res dogs. G, we each learn plain sign language to translate our grief across nations. Our hands are pairs of white and brown colts. They stunt eloquently against the backdrop of sun-bleached and windswept grass. H, we speak in languages that know only sprawling horizons. Those are the stars. This is home. Thank you.
I picked out some of the poems that I have about friendship because it's a night of showing our friendship to Teri so that she could visit the woman who was a better mother to her than her own mother before her surrogate mother died. So, this is called Chosen Kin. We haven't been buddies from birth, haven't made memories in childhood or teens. So many stories we haven't yet shared, so many stories we do not know. Yet we don't have to know all the details to help each other out or to care, to choose each other by listening ear, making possible the other's way of life now. Scaffold of ordinary life, we stumble along life's paths. We circle around the inchoate hope that love is our center, that love is possible, and that we can somehow be a part of it. Sharing struggles and ideas and joys and hopes, we are creating a kingdom of love with our imperfect selves, and it is good. I wouldn't be who I am without you. You, my friends, are my chosen kin. Living alongside each other, we create the kingdom of care as we muddle along in ordinary lives. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. We are together. Friends, chosen kin creating kingdoms of care. And this wasn't written with Teri in mind, but I'm dedicating it to her tonight. It's called Know What You Know. Know what you know. Know who you are. Know that what is in your heart is growing and showing and always moving outward. Let go of what has never been your responsibility, of what has never been your fault. Let go of the fear that you are not allowed to thrive or even survive. Remember that you are as a sunflower, beauty among beauties, exquisite, unique, nourishing and useful, spreading seeds you will not know where they will grow, to offer sustaining nourishment, help, and beauty. Remember the blank page and all the possibilities. Hold your compass, your heritage of mystery within wholeness, within the circle of all. In the center, know the rows of mystery unfolding and the seeds of nourishment, possibility, and abundance. Know that you are so loved. Know that you have never been alone. There is more than enough, more than you can imagine, always.
This poem is adapted from a fiction piece that I did. So this is called Flowering. A certain nostalgia blooms when a dirt town kid moves to the big city for the first time and experiences the life and the ghostly return. A dichotomy of emotion, the fertile mind divides into halves, the before and after and the then, weighted disproportionately. When the smallness of existence grew to something grander, full of unsettling contradictions. When awareness came of how the town was at once tiny and yet so dense with its overlapping lives and leaves of people. And the bright city is likewise vast and populated by unknown minds, but also so barren. Emptiness you yearn to fill. It simply hasn't occurred to you yet. The emptiness is all inside, and it always has been. That disjunct triggers a wilting brain, dreaming each lost night of a field of twinkling ice crystals, reflecting under the moon, and realize it's the city lights. Dreaming of the flowers on an endless, roiling ocean, and it's the damn city lights, those lights that infest everything. You floated through those lights, tumbled streets with friends lonely, at home together, unsure if they felt the same way, because surely everyone else was just as wind-lost as you, but surely they were rooted and secure in their identities and hearts. You recall most the little things, like chill dew in the crisp New Year's morning when you were coming off the high, or like when you stood quietly outside a corner shop with your finger tracing the graffiti letters on the curve of a bent oak tree, and pebbles rolling uphill, and headstones fading wordless, and cobbles flooded in rain, and gravel beneath your tires, and picking rocks from the furrows. Yes, returning to the country is a coming down, leaving the pulse and thrum of heart and music behind for dirty reality and an empty garden. You come back in the cold daylight, and the blood and magic is soiled. This poem is titled See Me Gone, and it's partly inspired by Bob Dylan and Tom Petty. I want to walk barefoot in sun-drenched lands. I want to swim through waves and whims of warm. I want to belong where the wild grapes grow. Rather than tread along under gray clouds, rather than bemoan loss of spirit's fire, rather than dwell in the cold and lonely. Then take that step onward to bluest skies. Then wake the fire and breeze that fills broad sails. Then slake the thirst for love and fruiting vines. Say you will see me off on crystal morn. Say you will miss my warmth and gentle smile. Say you will always think upon the shared goblets and river wanderings and blissful longing touch that ever I have forgotten in my ignorant dreams and need for elsewhere.
The first one is going to be, it's called Aurora, and this one was, I wrote this one for my partner. Her middle name is Aurora, and I really love sort of science and a little mythology and thought I'd mix that up a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. The sun was angry hot that day, jealous of the moon's soft face. So he cast his rays across the sky, and you were born in the blink of my eye. Oh, Aurora, not once the same, colors dancing down like rain. Oh, Aurora, oh my, I'm forgetting my words. Oh, Aurora, oh man. My words are leaving me right now here, so maybe I'll try to come back to that one. I will have to come back to that one. I think I'm going to start with the one I know a little bit better here, so I'll start with a murder ballad. One for Henry here. Henry, nice work, by the way. So, so this one is on the CD that I have over there called Alone in This World. This song is, this poem is called Alberta Murder. Well, they say he killed a man. They say he took his life. They say he killed a man. They say he did it twice. How could this happen in a town that seems so nice? They took away his gun and all he needed was a knife. Well, last night in small town Alberta, that's where we lay our scene. The site of a cold, dark, grisly sort of murder, the worst they'd ever seen. A crime of passion, a crime of opportunity, the kind of crime that divides a community. Last night on the old canal road, a sight I hope you never see. Flags half-mast in town today, an air of tension you could feel. Fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, they can't believe it's real. In this town of faith, this town of fidelity, a town of unfailing hospitality, things like this don't happen here. We're a good town, don't you see? Innocent until proven guilty, that's what the law decrees. But in a town so small, there's no room to doubt what they did or didn't see. Was it drugs or neglect or insufficient discipline? Not enough Prozac, Cipralex, or Ritalin. Last night on the old canal road, a sight I hope you never see. Well, they say he killed a man. They say he took his life. They say he killed a man. They say he did it twice. How could this happen in a town that seemed so nice? They took away his gun. All he needed was a knife. I'm just going to finish one more very short one. This only has 2 verses, and so the first verse acts like a chorus. So say the first verse once, then the second verse, and come back to the first verse again. This song is about my first time taking acid many years ago. Yeah, it was a good experience. My wife was very sweet. She took the kids away, and I just sat there, and I had my coffee, and I had, some acid, and then I sat there with the dogs, and I took them for a walk, and wrote a couple songs, had a couple ideas and stuff. But I didn't write this then, but this was looking back to that experience and thinking of my lovely partner. So what am I but a pile of electric meat? What are you if not your hands, your lips, your feet? What are we but two drops in an endless sea? It's all we need to be. And what am I but a pile of old yesterdays? What are you if not the pretty games you play? What are we but two pieces of today? It's all we need to say. So what am I but a pile of electric meat? What are you if not your hands, your lips, your feet? What are we but two drops in an endless sea? It's all we need to be.
My first poem is about my grandma, and it's called When I Think of Beauty. When I think of beauty, I think of my grandmother. I think of her smile, how it reminds me of morning sunrises and children laughing. When I think of beauty, I think of how my grandma tells everyone she meets she likes their outfit, even if they kind of look bad, and helps out moms. My grandma is the definition of beauty. If you looked in the dictionary, her face would be right there. When I think of beauty, I think of her, my grandma. This next one's called I Am a Reader. My partner likes to call me his little bookworm, so this kind of got inspired by him. I am a reader. I've lived 1,000 lives, 1,000 worlds. I've explored Hogwarts with Harry, stories with David Guider. I've traveled through mountains and forest. I've fallen in love with many people, hated many, and thrown many books. I am a reader. I find my peace between pages and ink. You can find comfort where no one else can. Take you with a good book, and that's why I'm a reader.
Hi, everybody. All right. This is a poem I wrote a couple months ago, and it's about cell phones. And just times you see a couple people out and both are on their phone, times you're sitting there with the person you want to hang out with and you're both on your phone, just how phones kind of tend to take over things sometimes. I don't feel this way all the time, and obviously I'm on my cell phone too, so I'm not a complete hypocrite with this, but yeah, that's just how I was feeling at the moment. It's yet to be titled. Here we go. Competing with our time, impeding on our time, the memes and catchy games, chasing the serotonin stream, conversations with strangers and arguments you'll never win, Facebook and Reddit and articles that sweep your affection, scattered attention, an endless dependence, an extension of your arm, of many arms. Body posture is morphing this way. Can people just set down their cell phone for a moment and enjoy their sought-out company? Why has this addiction raged full-fledged on humanity? How does it invade our dinners, our dates, our intimacy? This digital age has left a flattened battery acid taste, this waste, my homepage, where we all let our minutes be bled and our spare time microwaved. Thank you. And this is one I'm actually going to do later. We're doing it as a beatnik style thing too. But this is a poem I've been forced to memorize. Now it's been in my head a lot. It's called Fangs. And it's about flexing once in a while or showing your teeth. So here we go. Fangs. I show my teeth, I make that mark. I show my teeth, I take that spark, I make it art. I show my teeth when it counts, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I quietly sit back, silence a voice in my throat, and I say nothing. I observe, I keep it in. But once in a while, I show my teeth, and it begins. I show my teeth when it counts, and I like to do it loud. I show my teeth, I do it proud. Sometimes I do it unannounced, and nor do I advocate or distract from this. Sometimes I do it unpracticed. I show my teeth, I make that mark. I show my teeth, I take that spark. I create art, and I put it out. You take my bite, you take my clench, you take that giving jaws wrench, and you can do what you will with it. Take it as satin or friction's clutch. But I have to show my teeth, I have to get it out. It is important to me to let it free from my spirit. Without that vent, I could go berserk. I wouldn't be myself, wouldn't be on top of my health. I show my teeth and I flex when it counts, when it amounts, when it surmounts. I show my teeth, I do not bite. I would only put up a fight for what is good and what is right. I show my teeth, I make that mark. I show my teeth, I take that spark, I make it art. tails behind a grin, and that reliable reaction when I'm pinned, and sometimes a fiery whirlwind, though I embrace my harmonious soul's relief, and time again with these pearly fangs, I show my teeth. Thank you.
So to give you a little context, I've met Elizabeth when I was about 6 years old, and she became my second mother. A lot of my childhood memories take me back to her, and she is an amazing woman, even now at 93. Last year, they took a picture of her when they were hanging winter coats out in front of the old age home that she lives at. And I called her my activist because she's always been like an activist, unofficially, but she has been. So the first poem is called Time Flies By. Your youth is over. Your busy years are gone. Your children and grandchildren are adults. Your great-grandchildren are growing. It saddens you that you are alone after many years of being married, and you now live in an old age home because you need constant care. You are sad because you can't give us anything, and you hardly have any money left. You always gave. We don't expect anything from you. Now it is our turn to give you and express our gratitude for all the wonderful things you have done for us over the years. You are sad because we are not always with you. And even though you know it would be impossible, you still want us near. Don't be sad when we are not with you. We still have busy lives. Be happy when we are able to be with you, and know that we will be there whenever we can, because we love you so, so much. The next one is a bit of a sad one. And I think I read it last month, but I'd like to read it again tonight to honor Elizabeth. The candy package. They gave me a small bag as I was exiting the airplane in Budapest on my way to visit one of my oldest friends, Elizabeth. I thought it was a hand wipe and accepted it. When I discovered it was candy, I kept it, thinking I'll give it to her. She always liked sweets. After giving it to her, I forgot all about it until she asked me to write on the package that it was from me. I wrote "From Teri" on the package and drew 2 hearts on it. We had many delightful visits and reminisced about our past, our deep love for each other, and our long-lasting friendship. We participated in a singing circle together, and she asked me to sing to her like I did when I was a child. I recorded 4 videos with me singing to her, and she sang along with me as I embraced her. One day, she told me she will die happy because we saw each other. It was hard for us both to say goodbye because we both knew we may not see each other again. She told me a few times that she is ready to join her late husband, Joe. She misses him so much. Her grandson, Frank, called me on my way home, and she was eager to talk to me. She told me about the candy package she found in her cupboard to her surprise. She said she will ask to be buried with it. I had a hard time holding back my tears, and after a while, I didn't care anymore and cried at the airport in front of people.
What's interesting is the way I make poems lately is I run a poetry hour online. I'm a yoga meditation teacher, so Insight Timer. And as a group, whoever shows up, we do a drawing, like a random drawing. And from that drawing, we use it as a way in to start writing. So the first two poems are from random drawings. And then the last poem's a love poem, just to end a little warm and loving. Here we go. The first poem's called Ancestral Elevation. An elevated cauldron boils heavy cast iron, the kind from medieval times. Somehow, some way, this heavy pot hovered over fire, no contact to sit or lay. Do my eyes deceive? Does my heart believe all that I perceive? Dancing vapors, colorful flavors, brewing, stewing. What for? A feast? A meal? A medicinal concoction of courage to trust and believe in the passing dawn of traditions, plant medicine. Prepared for ceremony. While most of my kin smile and grin with city stimuli shocking nerves to burn out, I remain calmly connected to old ways. Mama mentioned many times to thee, to prepare cauldrons to calmly connect innate wisdom, to divinely heal and elevate all those who still have the ability to put their phone down. This is your invitation to rise up, to morph metaphysics and elevate above fires that intend to burn you. Let us learn to float, to fly, and dance above these illusions with wholesome, timeless solutions. Life on Earth is duality, so here's a poem called Both Directions. Falling up, falling down, will I make it to solid ground? Bleeding in both directions, I finally understand and appreciate the wonders of the heart. Forever committed to the marathon of me, may I remember this feat mindfully, in my goings, in my comings, in my rising and my falls, to be the glowing statue breaking social norms, to stall, freeze, feel, fall, till the grooves connect, and not always in the ways you may expect.
So my first poem for tonight is called Crossing Lines, and it's just a bit of a short one, but boundaries is something I think we all have to learn as we grow into adulthood and into life, and this is just one where I see boundaries as a bit of a practice, and we learn and we grow and we shape our boundaries as we grow, and sometimes we learn that through experience. Crossing lines. I let you cross my lines, and once you had what you wanted, your fervor soon abated, leaving me with breadcrumbs of your affection. I am a sparrow pecking gravel on a concrete pathway that used to be a flourishing bed of hopeful tulips. I let you cross my lines, and you just left me holding an empty bottle of wine. The second one doesn't have a title. You said this loss would be the end of you, but you're both smiling, looking quite happy, so I guess you didn't love me as much as you led me to believe. Look at you, already in love again, before the dirt has even settled on our grave. Makes me glad I didn't stay for something that was so easily replaced. All your whispered promises gone with a gust from the sky. Makes me wonder if all those moonlit promises were just reflecting from my eyes. And you'll hate me for this, but you said you loved me for your whole life, so why are you still alive? Did I just fit a gaping hole that you were desperate to fill? 'Cause now it looks like any new thing will fit that bill.
Uki Tansa. I'm gonna, first of all, Robert's my friend, and my last counselor, that sounds bad. My last counselor recommended me to come here, probably like a year ago or longer, and I finally made it, but my friend Robert came from Toronto to share and invited me here, so here I am. What took him so long? I've been waiting. So this is Earth Day 2022, our climate story, and it's from the tiny press right over there at the SAG. And this poem I wrote is called Space/Breathe, and it was a time I was thinking of COVID stuff and Black Lives Matter stuff, and so oppression and sexism and colonialism. So this is like feeling that I needed more space in my life. I see borders and fences slicing the land, water under bridges blocked by dams, factories everywhere polluting the air, power lines, technology keep distracting me. Voice feels like it's choked, words stuck in my throat, love caged in my heart, I might just fall apart. I need space to breathe. I need flowers and trees like they need the birds and bees. I need to feel the breeze, the wind rustling leaves. I need space to breathe. I need mountains and hills. I need the rocks and dirt. I need to see buffalo grazing the earth, grazing the grass like my ribbon skirt. I need space to breathe. I need to see the sky, the eagle soaring high. I need the sun and moon and every single star. I need the entire universe. I need the constellations. I need stories of creation. I need space to breathe. I need the rivers to run free, let them flow peacefully. I need gently falling slow, the rain to help us grow, ocean waves at my feet, splashing puddles in the street. I need space to breathe. The air fills my lungs and it moves my voice. Each breath calms my mind and it helps me see. The air in my breath, it keeps coaxing me. It reminds me I'm alive and I need to breathe. Thank you. I'm gonna read one more, and this one is written about after Kamloops. Oh, I'm emotional. Oh no. Okay, this might be hard. It's called Future Vision, and it's looking at, residential school past, present, and future. So it's called Future Vision. They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds, and we grew into medicine and not the weeds. And we are the healing that this world needs because we nourish the spirits that hunger with greed. And no matter how much they tried to kill the Indian inside, our culture and ceremony and languages are alive. Mio Pimadiswin, it means the good life. It's how our whole nation survived. And these are the teachings that allow me to strive. And my vision for the future is for all children to thrive. So their self-determination is not a struggle, but a certainty. And their voices are heard with resounding clarity. And their history is understood not as myth, but factually, and they speak their language fluent and eloquently, and their knowledge is seen as beneficial to everybody, and we all feel connected and live together in unity, because the opposite of colonization is Indigenous sovereignty.
Oh, great. Here comes another drunk Indian asking for change. I actually had that thought go through my head when she first approached our table. It began after my friend and I found a place to get a drink and catch up. Now, this is about our people, so I'll omit the names and the places of the city we were in. As we walked around the downtown core, we came across a pub, one of the few places that seemed to be open in the area. We walked in, and immediately I had a familiar tension fill my body. We were the only natives, the only people of color, 2 sore thumbs. You ever walk into a room and it goes silent for a brief moment and all eyes are on you? This happens to me more often than I like to admit. Now, I'll be the first to give the benefit of doubt. I am 6'3" and clearly not white, and I carry a heavy male energy about me. And as for my friend, well, she's a stunning woman with beautiful brown skin and an aura of kindness you can see from 4 blocks away. I know, I measured once. So the room literally stopped. Excuse me for a second here. So the room literally stopped to look at us for a brief moment. Part of me wanted to give that big wave that Pocahontas gives John Smith in that movie where she says, "Wingapo," but I refrained. Immediately, we were seated at a booth and we each ordered tea. We had no intentions to eat, but our waitress left us the menus just in case. Service was friendly and surprisingly prompt. Our conversation was both humorous and adult in nature. A commonality amongst natives: we have dirty minds and we like to laugh out loud. At times, we found ourselves whispering for fear and respect of our neighbors, but the laughter was at a high volume nonetheless. The tension I first felt had evaporated amidst our levity, and I soon found myself fully enjoying the moment. However, it wasn't long when another familiar tension filled me. A native woman, slightly intoxicated, visibly poor yet strong in spirit, approached our table to ask for change. I presume as much, but before she could finish her sentence, our server intervened to remove her. That's when my friend chimed in and said, "Do you want something to eat?" Our server, obviously annoyed but respectful, allowed her to stay. I thought she would order and take a seat at the bar. Previous experiences has shown me that this to be the likely procedure after buying food for a stranger. They thank you and they go on their way. But this was not the case. Instead, the woman sat herself shoulder to shoulder with my friend. At first I felt awkward, but not for me, for my friend. As the woman got cozy next to her, she silently mouthed to me, "Sorry for the interruption." I nodded, "It's fine." But it was more than fine. It was beautiful. I sat in silence as I watched my friend help the woman navigate the menu. The woman was very kind, amiable, wore a huge gap-toothed smile, and carried an infectiously positive energy. Immediately, she began to treat us as family, telling us stories and making jokes of both herself and the situation she described. This woman was hilarious. If our laughter wasn't loud before, it certainly was now. When our server came by to take the woman's order, I was touched when she referred to us as her cousins. Actually, I was proud. I'm pretty sure the server believed the reference to our blood connection. The woman made her order, and all she asked for was garlic toast. Said she loved her garlic toast. So my friend offered to double the order. The woman accepted, and the stories continued. We learned she has a sister, a professor at the city's university, and a daughter she hasn't seen in a long time. She wants to get better before she tries to make a relationship with her again, but first she needs to get rid of her chubby hubby who only wants to drink his status away. She had a healthy sexual appetite which displayed itself when she'd jokingly tell men walking by, "Hey, handsome," followed by that native laugh of deviance, "Nee." You know the one. At times, the woman would playfully push her shoulder into my friend's, and that's when I saw it. A beauty of our people. My friend is a young, educated woman who follows her Cree traditions, lives a clean life free of alcohol and substance, a near polar opposite of the woman sitting next to her. Different in almost every way, yet similar in spirit. I sat back and I watched the two engage and found myself in awe. I couldn't help but picture them in a traditional time, a time where instead of asking for change, she would be teaching my friend how to tan a hide or sew or prepare meat. I pictured them in traditional clothing, their long, beautiful black hair, clean, gorgeous, soft hide dresses, and speaking in fluent Cree. Here I am, a Blackfoot male, sitting with two Cree women, envisioning a Cree conversation unfolding before me. I barely spoke the entire time. As I watched, my cheeks and my jaw began to hurt from the laughter and smiling and the realization developing in my mind. I saw in front of me the progression of our people, the start of our true healing. I saw how spirit connects us, how it can override the restrictions of class and culture and experience. Just a few centuries ago, our people were at war with each other, the Blackfoot and Cree. Now we share tea at a Caucasian-filled establishment in a city that is located in neither of our traditional territories. Alcohol, drugs have ravaged our people and countless others around the world, yet we're still here, laughing, loving, and bonding amidst its presence, thriving even. In that moment, I saw inspiration. The tension that filled my body had been replaced with this boisterous pride. The eyes that fell on us no longer irritated me. They became welcomed. I challenged them now, encouraged their stares. Far too often we shy away from what connects us, our spirit. And I find it ironic that many drink to escape their spirit, yet as they drink, many are brought to tears realizing they've disconnected from it. Then they miss it. We get annoyed with the beggars and the drunks, but can't help but feel empathy because we all know someone who's like that. Sitting there in those moments of observation, I felt healed, whole, and also humiliated for having thought so negatively of this gorgeous woman when she first approached. The time came for our new relative to make her exit, and I was expecting the inevitable question to follow, "Can you help me out with some change?" But it never came. Instead, she just finished her glass of water, took her takeout container of garlic toast, and wished us well as she left our table. It was perhaps the most love-filled hug I'd ever received from someone that I've never met before. Once she was out the door, my friend and I sat there speechless, overwhelmingly content. Then tears, happy, sad, and empathetic tears. Tears of joy. What started as a minor interruption became a profoundly fulfilling experience, a teaching. This woman is not a drunk or a beggar. She's a sister, a daughter, a mother, a teacher, an elder. In those brief moments, it was clear that it wasn't us providing her, It was her gifting us, giving us hope and inspiration, strength, priceless gifts. Undeniable side effects of her amazing spirit, and for that I am eternally grateful. The connection between these two women was powerful. Her name was Gertie, and she helped me realize that it was me wanting change.